This video is a re-edit of the original one which I uploaded quite some while ago. It was 2 hours long and far too long for anybody to sit and watch. What I've done with this, I've split it up into 4 parts to make for easier viewing, and also I've taken out some material which was really just a repeat of what was already on. It should make it a little bit easier viewing. I'm afraid the quality of the very first section of the video is really poor, and this is, I'm afraid, due to the loss of the master tape. But the video does get better as you get past that first section. At the beginning of the 90s, consumer camcorders varied in quality, and it all depended what price you were willing to pay to get the best, and even then they weren't all that brilliant. The first section of video on this this production was taken with a Sharp camcorder, and it wasn't really all that brilliant, although the recording is a copy of a copy of a copy, hence the poor quality. I did then expand and bought myself a Panasonic Super VHSC, and the quality does improve, and it's more noticeable in the following section. I've also re-edited the audio of the narration, so it should be a little bit clearer than it was before. Well, I hope you find this video interesting, and the following parts as well, and thanks for watching. It was in 1990 that the 7¼ inch and 5-inch gauge ground level track at Northcliffe Woods of the Bradford Model Engineering Society commenced. After the ground survey by Ian Collins and various members, including myself, carrying the measuring staff all over the place. After the surveying was finished, John Nicholson produced a booklet which included all the gradients, levels, materials and time factor and costs. Here's a picture of my 2 daughters, Tracy and Claire. This shot shows where the track was going to be excavated up towards the woods. Quite a lot of work was involved, and that's why we employed a larger tractor to do the work. Well, the first sods were dug out in August 1990, and it was back-breaking work. Quite a lot of material was moved, and lots of members helped. A lot of the time we were working into the late evening, and we were working in darkness. Soon the foundations were all set and ready for the pouring of the concrete. An appeal went out to members to come and help to barrow the concrete over from where the mixer was. It could not get over the small bridge where the 5-inch and 3.5-inch gauge line of my 2 daughters, the smaller one Claire, the taller one, it had to be taken from at the time the other side of the track and then barrowed over, the junior representative of the society. Then trail all the way back, fill up the barrow and come back. Also, it was tricky because we had to go up planks. The problem was that the planks were over the raised track at the opposite side, where we had to take the barrows up to pull the concrete behind the clubhouse. One slip and you were off the plank. Very hard work. Just in the corner where my eldest daughter stood, there's buried a time capsule which contains a members list, various coins, telegraph and Argus and various other things, and this was enclosed in a plastic box and then placed in the corner and covered with the concrete. So if the area is ever redeveloped in the future, this could be uncovered and could be of interest. Here we see members stood on the concrete floor with the partially erected wall on the right. There's Brian popping up out of the ground. There's Tracy. On the right is Brian Purseglove propping a tree up. On the left there's John Nicholson bending down behind the other tree, and behind Tracy is Keith Parkinson. Now we see Keith Parkinson on the on one of the walls, well advanced. Now we see Norman Sheard walking through. I believe stood next to him there's Cyril Wilkinson. Albert Grimshaw here with a flat cap on. David Brimacombe behind him. All beavering away. This is the area which was to be excavated. It was originally planned to dig out by hand, but it just was impossible, so a bulldozer was employed to do the majority of the work. Sorry for the poor quality of the video, but it does improve a little bit further on. A general view of the clubhouse and the racetrack. Here we see the culvert. All the area on the left was bulldozed out. And my eldest daughter Tracy. Looking down towards the culvert, the tunnel. Looking quite barren at the moment with it being in winter time. This is where the track will be excavated up towards the wood. The large embankment up towards the left there was quite a major task, and that's where the cutting was dug out. My daughter Tracy, junior member, representative of the society at the time. Mr. Edward Brooke, with his hands in his pockets. Teddy, as he was known, my cousin. He helped with the acquiring of the steel for the railway. Another view of the clubhouse and racetrack from a different point up towards the wood. It's like brew time there, where Keith's just got a pot in his hand. The extension now with the walls up. Albert Grimshaw there just bringing in a beam. There we see Brian Ward. And this is Ian Collins bringing in a beam. That looks like Steve Stork positioning the beams. Brian again. Albert Grimshaw was a military policeman during the war, and the police whistle which he was issued with, he adopted it to work as a steam whistle on his sweep pea. see Steve Stark and Brian Ward. John Nicholson on the left, and Keith Parkinson doing some measuring and planning. This is showing where the spur was actuated. This was meant to connect to the main line when it was finished. There's plenty of snow about, but it can be seen where it was excavated out. There we see it more clearly. Quite a lot of work involved in this section as well, because it was on a slope and there were quite a lot of earth to be removed. Here we see a sample of the railway which Keith Parkinson made up, and it gives us a good idea of what the construction of the track was like. Quite a nice job Keith did of this. And Keith was an expert at constructing points and various parts of the railway. Here we see Pat Sheard, a lovely lady. There's Norman in the background, her husband. There's Brian taking up the little one. Some more foundation work here, what Albert seems to be doing. And then there's Keith levelling off. All the working parties up at the track were very well organised, and everybody knew what they were doing. I did the videoing, but I did my share of building and digging as well. Well, you might not think so by watching a video. You see Pat Sheard, there's Norman Sheard, and that's Alison in the background there with the young'un. There's Ian Collins coming for a cuppa. That to Ron Keithley just having a drink. There's the roof beams in position, ready for the roof to go on. And this concrete mixer what we got, I don't know where we got it from, but it paid for itself. It really got some stick. The amount of concrete that was mixed in this mixer is unbelievable. There's yours truly just walking past. So I don't know we're videoing this small section. It could have been my daughter, I think. And I'm just getting some material into the mixer just to show that I did my share up there. Pouring the concrete directly out of the machine for the foundations for the retaining wall of the steaming bay. Yeah, Keith having fun.
Yeah.
And the provisions all in the what?
I think it was the roof on
It
it.
was, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Between 2016 and you want to cover them, you can't you've all got to do, you know, the 50 feet. Or all on the up to 16, that was you got them numbers?
Ian Collins here, lining up the sheets. David Brimacombe hard at it. We've got a view of the muddy spur. This will join the main line when it's constructed. This is my eldest daughter, Tracy Ann, who at this time was a junior representative of the Bradford Model Engineering Society. Yeah, she's getting the pots organised for a brew up.
What did it say something?
What line? I'm a tea lady, Emma.
Down. If they're not forced to drop,
Here's Sue Parkinson. She's helping me with the concrete mixing.
Well, I'll tell you where you might learn. You used to work in Guiseley. You know where the printers is?
Well, that was another big job out of the way, getting the roof on. It was just a matter of sealing it now with some bitumen. It made a huge difference having the roof finished. It now enables us to start working inside the extension. Sidle Wilkinson giving his dog Penny a good wash after it's covered itself in mud running around the site.
Just one more, you've got 4.
We have when you came.
Bloody hell. Oh, you're alright.
Oh, sweetheart.
That looks very fair, does that, doesn't it?
Coming on.
Well, yeah, that could do with him because he knows just how it's doing.
There's Graham Orchard talking to Ian Collins with his back turned to us.
Well, yeah, that could do with him.
There's some of the brickwork on the newly laid foundations. There's Peter Ward and David Brinicum erecting the new shutter.
No, well, there's a spring inside there. You can't take pins out until you're ready for action.
Oh, I see.
You'd have to actually wind it back up again.
Oh, let's take the pin out.
Yeah. But it seems to be hanging all right to me.
So what we have to do there is pull that right there.
Yeah.
So we look for guys on.
Yeah.
What are they? This sounds like it.
No, there's some channel there.
There's Tracy here getting the brew ready for everyone.
Will you tell her to can it tear for tea?
Yeah.
That's what's right.
We're fire.
Yeah.
Get all these out served right.
When do you go in there?
Fortnight.
Can't be one down the off any day.
No,
Are you
no.
still going?
All right.
Nah.
Not,
Oh, good right, if you want.
I'm not going to miss that.
Are you take it tomorrow?
Yeah.
Will you end it?
No, I'm not taking it.
Oh, myself, I want it long, you can get that.
That's alright. Well, I think we need some more of that third person land range somewhere.
The retaining wall for the steaming bay area now just about finished.
The base is coming in a metre length. Black massive. Yeah. There's a cast iron liquid grip on top of the bolt on with them. Let's say a few bolts. It's all freeform, all sorts of together. You don't want the lot.
This is where the connection from the steaming bay to the main line will go. At the moment, just a muddy path. Here we see David Brimacombe applying the sealant to the finished roof. It was also applied to the original roof of the clubhouse.
What's that?
some of our steam road vehicle members held a mini steam up. I think basically it was just to test out some of the vehicles, and especially Keith Harper's large 4-inch scale Showman. I have a separate video which I will be uploading later on, which shows in more detail this mini rally. I'm afraid once again the video quality is not great, but it's nevertheless interesting. Here can be seen the large amount of work of these excavations, and the employment of the bulldozer was a godsend, because it would never have been done in time by hand using pick and shovel. You can see here the amount of excavation that was involved constructing this track. The bulldozer did a great job. We would never have done it by hand. And there's a track bed disappearing up into the woods in the distance.
Sure.
Forward.
A view up to where the cutting will be, and there the bulldozer still digging out.
What is that?
An interesting fact here is that later on, when the cutting was finished and the brickwork erected, whilst tidying up the hillside at the side of the cutting, we uncovered what looked to be like an entrance to a mine. Torches were procured. Me and Keith Parkinson decided to explore this, and I led the way and went quite a way on, around a few bends, and I carried on until I couldn't get any further due to a roof collapse. Don't know what type of mine it was. It's definitely a mine passage. But anyway, we decided to call it a draw with the roof collapse there. So out we came, and then made sure that the entrance was well covered in soil and stones and various other things. We didn't want any children finding their way in there, and even adults. It would have been dangerous. But there won't be many people in the society, or if anybody now, that knows where this mine entrance is today. Very interesting. Can be seen here what a huge amount of material needed to be removed to produce the cutting. Doing it by hand would really have been a nightmare.
When it goes up, then it looks like it's
Yeah.
During the excavations by the bulldozer, I recovered some fossils which had been uncovered, and they looked like they were part of ancient trees. I still have these today in my workshop, and they're very interesting to look at. During the excavations of this track, down at the bottom end where the clubhouse is, what looked like a coal seam was uncovered. I had a closer inspection of this, and at first I thought it was coal that had been dumped there and then probably covered with soil many years ago. But on closer inspection and chipping coal out, it wasn't. It was a proper seam, and I actually cut some coal out of this and later used it to raise steam on my Romulus. Well, it's never been pursued or investigated since then, but it remains a mystery. It'll be very interesting to find out if it is a proper coal seam. Well, Bradford Model Engineering Society have got their own coal mine.